Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm documenting another VHS night of mine. If you haven't seen my Summerween video, basically every month my friends and I throw a VHS night. What that entails is, so there's an overarching theme and there's a curation of tapes that go with each theme. So this month's theme is fantasy, and the tapes will include the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon, Legend, and Excalibur. Fun fact about the D&D tapes is that they're actually made from the 80s. My dad made them and burnt them from the actual airing, so they have some of the commercials, and the quality is kind of bad, but I love them, and I created custom sleeves for them where they line up on the side and they're specific to each character. So this year I wanted to go a bit more all out for the VHS nights, and I will be documenting each month. For this month, fantasy, I wanted to create a castle background. The VHS nights will always have this pipe background thing that I made, and I will decorate it depending on each theme. For the castle, I wanted to have 2 pillars, and then the center of the castle will be like the doors, the drawbridge, and then have some banners. And my friend Nitty is going to make a dragon shield thing in the front. Additionally, we're also going to be making some themed foods and play Dungeons & Dragons, which I'll be documenting the process in that. So for the campaign itself, it's going to be a one-shot, since trying to do a full campaign will take forever, and then of course people's availability. So we're just doing a one-shot that'll last probably 1 to 3 hours. It definitely will last more, but that was our goal. It will be a classic dungeon crawl with 3 rooms and monsters in each room, with the last one being, of course, a dragon. So I got this photo album from the thrift store, and this is like one of those like old vintage like ring ones. It still had its plastic and everything, but I'm actually going to use this as our campaign binder. I put some lined paper and even some of the little photo slots just in case I have pictures of the characters. And then on the side I added dungeons. This is kind of inspired by their binders from Stranger Things. I was going to put a name on here, but both me and our DM, we are working together on this, so I just thought it would be cooler if it just said Dungeons. I was gonna put Dungeon Master or Dungeons & Dragons, but that was too long, and this fit, so yeah, I think it works out perfectly. So for our D&D characters, some of us already had pre-existing characters. For those who didn't, I just found some character sheets online and then curated backstories for each one of them. I want to give a huge shout out to our DM, Lupe, who I was working with for most of the process, and she also created, of course, the campaign. I'm also going to go into depth on each character and the backstory based on the campaign. It was heavily inspired by One Piece, where there's hidden treasure and all these different people find out about it, or they don't even know about it and they just stumble upon the cave and they want the treasure for one reason or another. I also just want to give a huge shout out to our friend Nee. They created art for all of our characters, and I turned their art into little miniatures. So first is David's character, Napoleon Bonefart. He is a faceless monk and Scourge Aasimar. For his backstory, despite his dark appearance, Napoleon is a monk trained in destroying all evil. During one of his meditations, he has a vision of a dark cave with buried treasure, giving him a sign to explore it, knowing that it may hold some dark forces. That same night, he ventures into the forest to find the caves and comes across a dwarf. Next is Ben Watson, who is Ray's character. He is a barbarian human. The dragon in the dungeon just finished roasting a traveler attempting to take the treasure. Heat from his breath causes Ben Watson to be unfrozen near the entrance of the caves. After being enclosed in an ice prison for hundreds of years, he does what he knows best, run into the caves with the hopes of slaying someone with his axe, unknowing of the treasure. Next is Lux, who is Diana's character. They are a fighter, wood elf, folk hero, and neutral good. Lux lives in the woods with their parents and 3 younger brothers. They were connected to the forest using herbs for food and medicine, while also using combat skills learned by their father to protect their home, which they have on several occasions from numerous creatures who try to harm it. One day their mother came home sick and appeared as if she was dying. They tried every herb in the forest, but to no avail, so they ventured into the shops within their kingdom. They described their mother's illness to the shop owner, and he stated their mother has a rare illness caused by a creature-specific poison infecting the forest, with the cure coming from curing the forest itself. Luckily, he has the cure, but he's greedy, asking for way more than what the elf has. Luckily, he tells her of the treasure in the caves, but it might cost the elf their life. Desperate, they begrudgingly ask for more information and travel to the caves. They've been fighting for their family for this long. How bad can the caves be? Next is Jericho, which is my character. She's a wizard half-elf. After an army of skeletons and spiders ambushed their town, it left their costume shop in ruins. Now, needing the funds for repairs and materials, since they are only a level 1 wizard, knowing only basic attack spells. They decide to try their luck in the caves to get some quick coins. Next is Rat King and Ambrose. Now initially Rat King was created by our friend Nee, but Nee sadly isn't able to join us for this campaign, so they will be taken over by Nitty, and Ambrose is Pez's character. Rat King is of course a rat, and Ambrose is a cat. The Rat King is a cleric, and Ambrose is a sorcerer. After a long night of drinking at the tavern, they overhear a dwarf talking about a rumor of the hidden treasure within the nearby caves. Bored and a bit tipsy, they decide to investigate with the hopes of finding the treasure to purchase more liquor. Next is the hill dwarf Two Stubs, who is Kevin's character. He's also a soldier and is lawful good. Two Stubs is a soldier and has been fighting for his kingdom for years. However, he becomes haunted by his fallen soldiers, feeling endless guilt for not being able to save them. He retires, but his life still feels meaningless, causing him to go to the tavern frequently. He yearns for a quest, but one that requires no consequences. He hears of hidden treasure in the caves, but pays no mind. On one of his bar raids, he yaps about the treasure to the bartender while asking for more drinks. This is the same bar as Ambrose and the Rat King. After a long night of drinking, he stumbles out from the bar, and he thinks he sees one of his old friends, Maver, who passed in the fight against the Goblin King. He follows him into the forest and runs into a cave. He drinks from his flask and stumbles behind him. Lastly is Steven's character, who's Bartholomew de Squashin. He's a rogue, Lightfoot halfling, and a criminal and chaotic good. Bartholomew comes from a kingdom of prosperity, yet he thrives off of theft, joining the notorious thieves guild, the Gilded Gallows, and learning Goblin in the process as the head thief is one. After hearing of the treasure, he does what he does best, attempt to steal it, with the hopes of proving his worth and overthrow the head thief. So those are all the characters. Next is the castle itself. For the castle, I got 12-inch cement tubes since they're lightweight and cheap. I got it from Lowe's and spray painted it gray. I want to also give a shout out to Nitty and Lupe for helping me with the castle process. Neri, what have you gotten done so far?
This and this.
Got your little done sets?
I'm proud.
I finished my, I don't even know what this is called, but this yippee. Then for the banner, Lupe and Nitty covered cardboard cutouts in fabric and glued on some gold ribbon for some trim. And then I cut out symbols that represent some of the characters, and I cut them out some gold vinyl and then ironed them on. Lastly, I of course glued them on to some embroidery thread.
I also made a map for the campaign with the help of Autumn. I also bagged and labeled some of the creatures.
And here's how Nitty created the dragon shield out of cardboard and paper.
It's 10 a.m. Final project complete. Doo-doo-doo.
For the food, I made some sweet corn cobs and got a charcuterie board. And then Pez made some butternut squash thing. I don't know what it's called, but it was from a D&D recipe. Nitty also made some ruined sugar cookies, which were really good.
And with everything made, it's time to set up. I want to give a shout out to Pez for helping me set up early.
For the setup, I wanted to have the table in the middle and the chairs all around it like a round table. thank you so much everyone for coming. I love putting these together, and it feels very rewarding seeing everything come to fruition, and of course everyone having a great time. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!